Hey guys, it's Maymay, and it's time for another scripture art journal week. And this week's scripture comes from Matthew chapter 5, verse 16. And I know we have done this one in the past, but I just want to do it again because I think sometimes we need a reminder that we are to be a light to the world. Sometimes we can get a little bit frustrated with the world and not want to be the light. Instead, we kind of want to grumble and complain. I've seen so much lately, like just the changes and the things that are going on. And I do my fair share of grumbling and complaining. I shouldn't, I understand. But sometimes I have to be reminded I need to be the light. I need to try to make somebody better for having been around me today. I need to show somebody what Christ is like just because they were around me today. And I don't do that every day. I'm not very good at that every day, but some days I'm good at it. But I need to focus on doing that. So I thought this week we'd focus on this scripture. And the reason is the scripture says, "Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven." I really hope that this week, now you can stretch this out and do any scripture you want. You know, you can go the whole chapter of Matthew, whatever works for you. But I think you could focus on this scripture every day and find a way for your light to shine every day and write it down in your journal every day. And then come back later and look and see what you had done that whole week. Can you imagine if you intentionally made someone smile or you intentionally showed the love of Christ every day for 7 days? And if all of you guys did that, can you imagine how much love we would be showing? That's the whole point. I really hope that that's what happens with this verse. I just see so much negativity, and we're not negative people. I want us to really show God's love. So I have my page all stamped out for my journaling for the week. We need to do our journal page. Now, this is from a coloring book that was sent to me. Let me show you. I love this coloring book. Isn't it beautiful? My favorite KJV verses. So these are King James verses. This was purchased at Walmart and sent to me. I want to put this up here for you. I want you to be able to see how to get this because I get lots of questions. So if you screenshot that or you freeze that, you should be able to search that book and find it. I want to use just this section. I think I don't really want to use this, although it's really cute. But I want to show you what I mean. Obviously, it's too big for my page, but I'm hoping, actually, you know what? That gets pretty close. I'm hoping that I can make this work, but to be honest, I could use all those clouds. I did not think this would work, but I think that it will. So let's just see what we can do. All right, so I'm going to use my Tim Holtz ruler that is a centering ruler. And I happen to know that the height of my book is 8.5. So I'm going to put this here, and I'm going to find the center of this page. Nope, I didn't. I thought, did I just lay it down? The way you find the center is the 0 on the ruler is here. Then you just want to make sure that you have the same amount measured on either end. And that tells me that I'm in the center. Now I need to go out 4.25 on this side and 4.25 on this side, and that will get me the center. Now, ironically, this image is not centered, so I'm going to make a little bit of an adjustment. I'm doing this so I can get this image where I want it on the page. So this one is at 4.25, but 4.25 here is lower. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take up some of that space by moving my ruler back 1/8 of an inch, and that way I will get that whole piece on the page. All right, pencil. This is probably not making a whole lot of sense because my brain just kind of works this way. Like I have to use this ruler to help me. So here we go. I'm going to put a mark here and a mark here. Now I'm going to turn it and do the same thing. I don't really want this in the center. I kind of want this to be more the center if it can be. So I'm going to put that 0 there, and I'm going to see what I'm working with. So with the 0 here, I get 1, 2, and 3/4, and half of 5.5, which is the width of my book, is going to be 2.5 plus 1/4, so 2 3/4. Are you kidding me? So that's right. And then I've got 1, 2, and 3/4 right here. That works out perfect. So I'm going to make myself some marks here, and I don't have to cut this side. That was really cool. Now I'll let y'all watch that, and I probably confused you, but I tried to leave that in so you can keep up with how I do my measuring. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to line, this little mark that I made up, with my cut line on my trimmer. Let me see if I'm in the right spot. I am. I'm using the little line guide right here, and I'm just going to trim this out. So this means I'm probably going to get to use this page, which is super, super cool. All right, let's lay this down. Easy. I'm going to make sure I'm lined up correctly. Let me move up a little bit. That looks good. Maybe a tiny bit more. There we go. I might have been a little shy on that cut, but it's not going to be a big deal. Now here, I'm going to line it up here. Let me bring this up and line up my little blade. Perfect. Right through it. Okay, so look what we got. That's pretty cool. We just made this happen from that coloring page. And even more fun, if I had pre-colored it, like colored ahead of time, all of this would have been part of it too. My original plan, just in case you don't want to do the coloring here, was to take this section off completely, cut it out, and then do a different background. But since I can get this like this, I'm going to use it like this. So I'm going to start coloring, and I'm going to use my colorista markers. I have like the 6 sets of this, and they're fun to use. So I'm going to use them, and I'm just going to start coloring. I'm going to start with this light bulb. And I'm just going to spread color around the page any old way I want to. I think the word glorify would be pretty in yellow. So I'm not going to make you watch me color this whole thing because I'm literally just coloring in, just coloring the lines. I'm not doing any blending or shading or anything fancy. I'm just going to color this in. Lots of times I do this to where I'll color in part of it and leave some of it blank so I can come back to it later and continue to color. But I think today I'm going to color as much as I possibly can because I found that I typically don't go back. I'm a person who likes to do something one time and then move on. And so I think I just get in my head, okay, that page is done, and I don't go back and color. So I'm not going to do that to myself today. I'm going to actually keep coloring. So I colored this, and I really like how this turned out. I did it pretty simple. I colored the words in over here, and then I was going to color these clouds really, really bright and cheery. And then I thought, nope, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do black in between so that they'll pop, so the white clouds will pop. And I like how it looks. It reminds me of kind of the 80s, and I'm kind of a child of the 80s and 90s, and I love that. So this guy's now ready to go into our page, into our book here. I like that so much. I think it's so cute. Okay, what a great way to utilize your coloring books, right? And for you guys that sometimes struggle being inspired with what to put into your coloring books or into your journals, this is a great way to do it. Sometimes you print things out off the internet. Sometimes you use coloring. I try to encourage this, and the reason is I hear from folks all the time, I don't have a lot of free time. I don't know what to do on the page. I don't want to copy you, but I'm not sure what to do. Although I say copy me, I'm fine with that. But this is another option. This is a way for you to get to do the art, get to color and play with your tools and your markers and your things like that, but you still get a beautiful page from it. I hope this has been fun for you this week. I know mostly I was just coloring, and I had a good time doing it. I think it was super fun. I can't wait to see what you guys do with this verse. So if this is your first time seeing us, head over to Facebook and join our Facebook group, which is called Hide His Word in My Heart. We have a lot of stuff going on over there, a lot of fun stuff, a lot of inspiration for our scriptures, and we even do a live Bible study on Thursday nights. So go check that out. There'll be links below for that. Thanks so much for watching today, guys, and I'll see you again next week.